Welcome to a broadcast of the recent Lorraine County Commissioners' General Meeting. Unless otherwise announced, meetings are held Wednesday morning at the Administration Building, 226 Middle Avenue, 4th floor, downtown Elyria. These are public meetings and you are invited to attend. Agendas are posted prior to the meeting at www.loraincounty.us. Click on Departments to see the Commissioners page, then click on View Agenda.
Could we all stand for the Pledge of Allegiance, please?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Read all?
Yep, mine.
Okay. Look at it. I know, it's big. Good morning and welcome to the March 20th meeting of the Lorraine County Board of Commissioners. Commissioner Kalo has our dog from the kennel this morning.
This week we have a real dog. He's a Bernese mix, something I hadn't heard about. He's about 4 years old. He's a stray. He was found on Bursley Road out near Rochester Township. He's got a great personality, and he's available for adoption today, right? Jack, how long we had him? Friday before he's available? So if you lost your dog, stop by and pick him up. How many dogs do we have? And we have 32 dogs, so we're getting full. So stop by and pick out a new friend today. Come
He
on.
likes you, Ted.
Yes, he does. It's beautiful.
The Bernese, that's the type of dog I have.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah, very lovable dog, friendly.
Okay.
Madam Clerk?
At 9:45, we'll have a public hearing the second on the CDBG CHIP program under resolutions. Number 1, Job and Family Services bills.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion. Mr. Kayla.
Aye.
Ms. Kowski.
Aye.
Mr. Williams.
Aye.
Investments.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion. Mr. Kayla.
Aye.
Ms. Kowski.
Aye.
Mr. Williams.
Aye.
Appropriations.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion. Mr. Kayla.
Aye.
Ms. Kowski.
Aye.
Mr. Williams.
Aye.
Transfers.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion. Mr. Kayla.
Aye.
Ms. Kowski.
Aye.
Mr. Williams.
Aye.
Advances and repayments.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion. Mr. Kayla.
Aye.
Ms. Kowski.
Aye.
Mr. Williams.
Aye.
Requisitions.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion. Mr. Kayla.
Aye.
Ms. Kowski.
Aye.
Mr. Williams.
Aye.
Travel.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion. Mr. Kayla.
Aye.
Ms. Kowski.
Aye.
Mr. Williams.
Aye.
Bills.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion. Mr. Kayla.
Aye.
Ms. Kowski.
Aye.
Mr. Williams.
Aye.
I just wanted to mention the requisitions, I believe it was, or appropriations regarding the boat from the Drug Task Force. Just let everyone know, I did speak to Lisa about that, and we already received the check, because I said, why don't we have an advance for that? It was like $300,000. So none of that is general fund money. It's being paid for by course. It was like $300-some thousand.
Well, some of it, a little bit's general fund money. We've been going back and forth on the boat. In fact, I believe we have the check already.
We
so we wouldn't release work on the boat because Corsair's estimates were not completely in line with the estimates we received initially from the company that was repairing the boat. Then the company that was repairing the boat wanted us to fill out credit applications. Said we're not filling out credit applications. Then they wanted a copy of our financials. Go figure. You know, it's so. And then they wanted an advance on the payment. I told them I would give them a draw on the payment once they completed a certain amount of work. So it's not been an easy process. Plus, we have to have a few folks travel down there to inspect the work as it progresses. I don't think it's going to be too often, but there's certain things that are being done that I want observed so that we know that it's been repaired and done correctly. they subjugated a claim, which could take forever with this company. They're notorious for running into people's stuff with their freighter and not paying. But we're still out to $5,000 on the deductible.
I
And
thought the drug task force was paying the 5,000.
Drug task
Right,
force,
Lisa?
That was my understanding.
do they really have the $5,000 to pay?
I just assume all other departments always pay their deductibles, so,
If they have it, they'll pay it, right?
yeah.
Well-
We haven't gotten to that point as of yet.
Okay.
You know, we ended up, I don't want to say giving, we transferred money over to the drug task force last year because of all their loss of grants. So I'm assuming somewhere along the line that regardless whether it's a drug task force or us, we need to get that $5,000 back. If we're going to give the drug task force money, in effect, we're paying
Right,
the deductible. So I did tell them to subjugate our $5,000, which, who knows when that claim's going to be settled and for how much it's going to be settled. But
Well, like I said, we got the check. That's why I called Lisa to see why we didn't do it in advance, and then she said we already had the check, so we didn't need to, so.
yeah, my trouble with the advance was the settlement number.
Right, okay. All right, just wanted to bring that up.
Under the Commissioners, authorize various personnel actions as indicated on the summary sheet for employees within the jurisdiction of Lorraine County Commissioners.
Mr. Cordez?
Thank you, Commissioner. I do want to request a brief executive session, but I do to update you on the labor negotiations at the county home with the Teamsters. Also a potential hire. Let me make sure I got it right here, which one it was. Actually, not a hire. It would be looking at a board appointment at CBCF and potential purchase of real estate. Those topics allowable for executive session discussions under the Sunshine Law. So that's at the conclusion of our regular board meeting today. We go into executive session and we talk about those issues that I've listed. Thank you.
Approve and accept a 490-foot by 35.01-foot grant of conservation easement for certain real property situated in Amherst Township.
So moved.
Second?
Discussion. Mr. Kayla?
Aye.
Ms. Kowski?
Aye.
Mr. Williams?
Aye.
Adopt the 2013 general fund permanent budget.
So moved.
Second?
Discussion. Mr. Kayla?
Aye.
Ms. Kowski?
Aye.
Mr. Williams?
Aye.
Under Job and Family, approve amendments to Resolution 12334 adopted May 16, 2012, to purchase of service agreements with various vendors for Title 20 Social Service Block Grant Funded Services for State Fiscal Year 13. Cambridge Home Healthcare Elyria changed the end date of Homemaker Home Health Services Agreement from June 30, 2013 through September 30, 2013, and increased the Title 20 base funds by $4,500, which will be available from July 1, 2013 through September 30th. Neighborhood Alliance Elyria changed the end date of Emergency Shelter Services Agreement from June 30th to September 30th, 2013, and increased the Title 20 TANF funds by $12,500. Lorraine County Safe Harbor and Lorraine changed the end date of Domestic Violence Services Agreement from June 30th to September 30th, and increased Title 20 TANF funds by $3,125. And Volunteer Guardianship Program of Lorraine County changed the end date of the Adult Guardianship Services Agreement from June 30th to September 30, 2013, and increased Title 20 base funds by $2,250.
So moved.
Second?
Discussion. Mr. Kayla?
Aye.
Ms. Kowski?
Aye.
Mr. Williams?
Aye.
Mr. Cortez, County Administrator?
I have no additional comments, Lynn. Thank you.
Mr. Ennis, Assistant County Prosecutor?
I have no report this morning.
Commissioners report.
Under board correspondence regarding the Township Association minutes, I've seen that Mr. Williams, I'm not sure if they misquoted you or you were incorrect by telling them that the drug task force is going to cost $4 a month. It's $4 a year. I don't
Yeah,
know.
that's why I said $4 a year.
So you might want to bring that up, that they had that
Yep.
incorrect at their, if
I'll
you
bring
go
it up.
to the next meeting.
Yeah, that's
So-
this Thursday.
Thursday, right.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's only $4 a year, not $4 a month, and it's a huge difference. So hopefully people will support that, along with our transit levy that we're going to be placing on the ballot. Well, last week I met with one of our rescue groups regarding the dog kennel, and they want to help us do some things to try to increase our revenue there. Mr. Cortez and I had talked about an amnesty program for people that want to pay their dog license and have failed to do so. We did have a problem with the licenses when they were sent out this time, that they didn't have a price on them and things like that. So we are going to be sending out a reminder to those people and possibly waiving the fee, because it is double. Do you want to talk about that a little bit?
Well, we can. We've never done amnesty before. The code's kind of silent on that, as we've talked about, but other counties have. And I guess we can assume if they have and haven't had any difficulty with it, we should be able to do the same thing. It may energize people to come in and buy their license that haven't done so. I think you heard me talk to Jack on the way in
Yes,
this
I did.
morning.
That's what made-
Just waiting for the records to be completed downstairs so we can do the mailing. The flyer's already been done, and, excuse me, it'll be a few $1,000s to mail it out, but I think the net result will be an increase in revenue with the tags that are sold. And then hopefully, one of the initiatives with the permanent tag, or at least being able to keep your tag that's being championed down in Columbus, will help. I think multi-year renewals will help. There's a lot of things that will make it easy. This is one that you got to remember to do every year, and if you don't think about it, it's easy to forget about. And the window is not a big window to get the license. So I think there's
And
a
then if
better.
you forget, you don't want to do it, because then it's double, so.
So I think an amnesty would be nice. I can suggest now that I believe we'll be out and be able to do the mailings hopefully in the next week or two. You may want to you can do it right now, you may want to pick a week at the end of April sometime, and I would make it for about a week. And we can go ahead and move forward on that.
Okay. Can we do what would be a good week, the second or third week of April?
Probably the last week.
Last week of April?
Well, we're still waiting to get the records from downstairs, then we got to get the quotes on getting the mailings
Maybe we better
done.
wait until we have that before we,
The mailer, yeah.
yeah.
Well, I have to put it into the printing quote and everything else, so I might
Right.
as well set the date now.
Oh, okay.
If we need to move it to later, I'll let you know, but this way we can start getting pricing on the printing right now and anticipate how many things we're going to mail out, how many pieces of material.
Yeah, I mean, I would suggest maybe even going a little longer than a week.
The month of May?
Possibly even the entire month, just because, let's face it, getting your dog license, that's gonna
Not
be
the
one
big
of
priority.
Right,
I
especially
I would just caution that that's a long window, and those people that do buy their licenses on time, I don't want to
Not being
I don't want to set a trend where people don't buy them then, and then they wait for, there's a
Well,
long amnesty
I'm
period.
saying because there were issues with the mailer this last time, that maybe people just didn't do it because of that. And we didn't send them reminders out last year. You know, were used to getting 2 things in the mail, and now they got 1, and,
and then the prices weren't on it. and things.
Right.
I mean, I agree with your concern on that, but I think because of the mailing issue, I would be supportive of allowing it to go through. I think we can justify it to people that the reason we're doing it this year, it's a one-time deal. It's not gonna happen next year. It's just because the county made a mistake. And we want to give those individuals the opportunity to do it.
We made a mistake.
no, the auditors sent out the renewals without prices on it and like how much it costs. I mean, it's not a big mistake, but it's,
Hadn't gone up, so,
Yeah,
okay.
but,
Okay.
what's your feelings? Are you looking at the entire month of May?
I would say, yeah, month of May would be.
Okay. I would support that.
What do they do
It's-
for child support? Don't they do a full month of August or something when they do amnesty for child support?
I actually haven't followed that, but you can just declare the month of May Lorraine County Dog Month
Amnesty
and
Day.
amnesty for
Amnesty month.
tags, and so I'm not sure what they do, Commissioner. Again, the code is silent on this with regard. It does say that we'll collect the penalty. The license aren't bought within this period of time. I've seen other communities doing the
Wait.
amnesty, so let's see what happens. If you pass a resolution today, I'll make that happen for you.
Yeah. And just a quick update, we are still working with Senator Manning to get that license changed where we could actually go to a lifetime dog license and just be one tag for that dog, and hopefully be able to do it 5-10 years, but that's going to be up to the commissioners in each county to decide how they want to do it. So.
Good. Then on Monday, all three commissioners and, well, everybody up here just about, went to the 5 locations in Lorraine for the demolitions of the homes from the land bank. And I got to actually do the first swipe with the backhoe and knocking down the first house, so I'm excited to say that was really fun.
I think you did a better job on the last house.
Yeah, that was a scary backhoe. It's smaller and
And
lifted
you
me up in
moved
the
it, you
air.
moved it twice across the yard before you got the house knocked.
Well, the first one you tried to tear down with all the elected officials still by the house.
What can I say? Just checking your reflexes. So that was a lot of fun. Let's see, what else? Tuesday, we had our land bank meeting to talk about that and other issues. On Monday, I had my Goodwill board meeting. And when we were at that first house, or no, the second house, I saw another one of those drop boxes where you drop clothes and shoes off. And it was black box, and it said for lost children. There's so many of these boxes out there that we really don't know where those donations go. We know where the donations go when you drop them off at Goodwill. It goes back into our community, and you also get tax write-off if you go to an actual Goodwill store to drop off your donation. So I would just suggest to those people who do have donations, take them to Goodwill. We know where the money goes when they sell those stuff in the store, and then the money goes back to the community. I did talk to the mayor that day. He was also of the city of Lorraine, and asked him if there's a permit process for those boxes or approval or something that you have to get, and he said no, but I'm hoping that we can get some legislation in place in the cities so that they have to get a permit and not just put these boxes on vacant properties, and we don't even know who these companies are. So I'm looking forward to working with the mayor and hopefully in Elyria too on that. So
Okay. Did you want to make a motion for the month of May?
yeah, we'll go back to that. I'm sorry. I would like to make a motion that we have an amnesty month of May for dog license renewals. What else? Do we need anything else besides that?
Actually, it's not amnesty for dog license. We're going to waiver
So like
The fee,
penalty.
the late fee.
the late fee
Right.
for the month of May, so that to encourage those people that have not purchased their license yet to do so.
Correct.
I'll second that.
Any further discussion? Ms. Kowski?
Aye.
Mr. Williams?
Aye.
Mr. Kayla?
Right.
I think that's the end of my report.
Want to do it, Commissioner?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, as Commissioner Kokoski stated, the land bank started demolitions in Lorraine, which was very nice to see the first 5 coming down. And then we did have a land bank meeting on Tuesday that we all attended as members of the land bank board with the county treasurer and Pat Echo from Sheffield Township as a representative, and a recap on all the projects going forward. I'm assuming that schedule will be online once they get that website up and running when houses
Well,
we're demoing down that they gave us.
we're-
They have an entire list of phases, so you'll be able to see which houses in your neighborhood are coming down.
Maybe.
Maybe?
We're still
Okay.
working on the website
Okay.
with all that information, but let me suggest caution here.
Okay.
Those are all working dates. Now, if you read the
Okay.
paper today,
Oh, okay, yeah, approximate dates, right.
you'll see that, and this is probably going to be an issue, we're not required to give a firm notice, a date, or serve any other notice, or any way, shape, form, have conversation with folks about a house that's been condemned by proper law and regulation and passed to us as the agent to demo.
Correct, the cities, the municipalities have
So
to.
if there's
do
a,
that.
if we got a bulldozer 2 blocks over and they say, hey, we can get over to this house 4 days early, it's
We're
like,
going.
come on over. We're not going to set that schedule up as a permanent fixed document with some requirement. It's very flexible, it's very dynamic, fluid, and it moves all the time based upon how fast we can get contractors to demo these homes. So if they're done early on one project and they want to move to another one, we'll accelerate it as much as possible. Then again, I don't want anybody to get disappointed that something says it's going to be torn down on Tuesday and they haven't gotten it till Friday, because sometimes weather conditions slow the process. So they should not take those dates as gospel that are listed there and use them in any official way to determine when they should act on their own desires with regard to those properties.
Also, one other in regards to that, I got an email, a lady who saw a house that was coming down this week in her neighborhood. apparently, and it abuts her house. She asked something about she could plant flowers along the edge instead of just having grass. I figure I'll send that upstairs.
Yeah, I don't, after we get the property completed,
Right.
I'm sure that we can encourage some beautification
Okay.
in those areas. As you know, and one of the things we didn't speak about, but every time we've been out doing the homes, and people see us coming with that big sign there,
Mhm.
you know, that we're going to be doing this, they all come out and take pictures. We usually like the neighborhood entertainment for that.
Well, they have smiles
morning.
on their face like Christmas morning, man.
Well, we've been served coffee and donuts, and you know, people are very happy when some of these homes are being taken down and the neighborhoods are being improved. So I think that people are satisfied with what they're seeing right now.
Good. Also, I was in Columbus on Friday, the Commissioners' monthly meeting. We were able to get a resolution from the board in regards to the Turnpike funding measure and the transportation bill. All counties supported the 90% language and no change to the formula used for the statewide motor vehicle gas tax, which is a real nice discussion because in the past, the northern counties have supported the counties on our four borders who are going through all the fracking issues and stuff and trying to get their road use maintenance agreements done and such. So it's nice to get everybody together on one page. Also, our executive director, Larry Long, announced his retirement for the end of the year. So they're going to be, the executive board's going to be starting a search to replace Larry. He spent 39 years with the organization when he goes, so a lot of institutional knowledge leaving. End of my report.
Well, I won't go over the items that we did this week that you already brought up, but yesterday I did attend the Veterans Commission meeting after the County Land Bank, and I found out a couple things. They're going to be looking at funding one individual from the Veterans Commission's budget for the Veterans Court. Oh, not sure if you're aware of that or not. And I guess Judge Walter is looking at getting that going May of this year. So it's going to be some funds coming out of that budget. The other issue came up was the color guard uniforms, trying to get funding for that. We had a good discussion about it. I told him what Mr. Ennis told us about there being case law that prevents that.
I talked to Mackin, who's now the president of the
Yep.
Veteran Service Board, and he said it's the responsibility of the various posts to raise money for that purpose.
Right.
He said he doesn't recommend it coming out of his budget.
Right, well, and a lot of the individuals, there were some post commanders or previous post commanders, the internet cafes are having, taking away funds from them. But I ended up calling down to Columbus, and I talked with our Senator Manning. She's gonna just take a look at it. My view is if we're able to go through and spend up to $60,000 a year for grade markers every year, maybe we could come up with some type of language that would allow that. But it would have to be up to the Veterans Commission to approve it first, with final approval through the Board of Commissioners. On that, just some things that we're going to look at. Not going to say it's going to go through. It's just down in Columbus, but possibly come up with ways to fund items like this that, to me, I think is very important, giving a veteran their final send-off.
The issue being any language you try to change under Veteran Service Commissioners that the
Yeah.
Board of Commissioners have final board approval, they're gonna fight like all get out. They don't want us involved at all.
I know. I know, but there is language in there where we do have approval, like when they want to purchase property, they cannot go through and purchase the property without our approval. So there are different things about that. Talking with the veterans, they understood why I wanted that language in there, and they were supportive, but we'll wait and see what comes out of Columbus. I just wanted to kind of give
Well, I
you an
don't know what the
update.
rest of the Veteran Services Board, how they feel about that, but like I said, the president told me actually on Thursday when I was speaking to him, that he's not in favor, he thinks the Post should do it. So, I don't know.
Yeah.
It's going to be ultimately up to them, their board, I think.
Right, they would have a say on it, but then they would have to, the way I envision it, they would have to approve it, and then.
And it has
they
to be
would have
legal
come
through
in.
the state, so the state has to
Correct.
change language.
In order for it to work, the state would have to change the language in the legislation on that. Because the veterans, they were looking at putting up a different type of ballot, like doing a sales tax increase or doing a property tax increase, to try to come up with ways to fund this. And I explained to them, it's not going to work
That's
that
not-
way. You have an inside millage right now.
Right.
So just trying to work with them to see if there is a way to get it done. Because again, I think it is important for the veterans to have rifles that don't misfire in a 21 gun salute. So,
Agreed. Mhm.
but, okay, end of my report.
Commissioners will meet next Wednesday at 6 o'clock for correspondence.
Move the reading be waived.
Second?
Discussion. Mr. Kayla?
Aye.
Ms. Kowski?
Aye.
Mr. Williams?
Aye.
Public hearing, Linda Blanchett.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Today we're having the second public hearing for the CHIP grant application. And Lorraine County intends to apply to the Ohio Development Services Agency, ODSA, for funding of Community Housing Improvement Program, CHIP, activities under Community Development Block Grant, CDBG, Small Cities Program, and the Federal Home Investment Partnership Program, both federally funded programs administered by the state of Ohio. The CHIP applications are due to the state by Friday, April the 5th, 2013. On February 13th, 2013, Lorraine County conducted the first public hearing to inform citizens about the CDBG programs, how the funds may be distributed, what activities are eligible, and other program requirements, which included the Housing Advisory Committee, HAC, meeting that was held on February 25th, 2013. The CHIP FY13 grant period is September 1, 2013 through December 31st, 2015. A requirement of this grant is to spend $100,000 of our CHIP funds in our target area. For this grant, our target area is Carlisle Township, and it is Census Tract number 713. Lorraine County is proposing to undertake the following countywide CHIP activities for FY 2013. The top 4 activities are the results from the 19 HAC meeting attendees and community input. The attendees at the HAC meeting represented local government staff, Community Action Agency, Fair Housing, Community Development staff, Area Agency on Aging, Homeless Shelter Agency, MRDD Organization, Habitat for Humanity affiliate, Ohio Job and Family Services Agency, Domestic Violence Shelter, Landlord Association, Local Health Department, Continuum of Care, and local banks. So we had a very good turnout at this meeting. These are the proposed activities. Private owner rehabilitation, $203,000 from home funds. Approximately 5 homes in Lorraine County will receive housing rehabilitation assistance. Qualifying homeowners will be the owners of single-family owner-occupied structures that are in need of assistance to meet local code compliance and rehabilitation standards. All loans will be made at 0% interest at a rate with 85% forgiven over 5 years. At the end of the 5 years, the balance payback deferred until the owner either transfers interest in the property or the property is rented out. The next activity is home repair assistance. That's $109,000 from CDBG funds. Approximately 14 housing structures will receive emergency home repair assistance. Qualifying homeowners will be, again, owners of single-family, owner-occupied structures that are in need of assistance to address only 1 or 2 major health and safety issues. There's no cosmetic work done in these projects. Rental units are not eligible for home repair assistance, and all improvements will be made in the form of a grant. Emergency monthly housing is the next activity, and that is $25,000 from CDBG funds to assist 7 low to moderate income eligible households with emergency monthly housing payments. In our last grant that we had, this went over very well. We spent the money very quickly. We helped people with delinquent mortgage payments, rent payments, utility payments. It was a very good program. The next activity is tenant-based rental assistance. In the past, we have done this in conjunction with the Lorraine Metropolitan Housing Authority. We are asking to spend $15,000 from home funds to assist low to moderate income families. Approximately 6 households will receive assistance. Again, we went through that money very quickly. The fifth activity is for administration, which is $45,000. And administration is requested to not only reimburse the county for staff time dedicated to the CHIP projects to administer the grant, but also we can use these funds to retain a consultant for the grant period. The last activity is for fair housing, which we do in-house, and that is $3,000 to implement the county's fair housing program. The total grant request is for $400,000, which is the maximum Lorraine County is able to apply. And at this time, I ask for any questions.
Any questions, board? Need a motion to close the public hearing at this point, Teresa?
Yes.
I'll make a motion to close the public hearing.
Second?
Mr. Kayla?
Aye.
Ms. Kowski?
Aye.
Mr. Williams?
Aye.
Now we need a motion to approve.
If you so choose, yes, to approve the application for $400,000.
So moved.
Second?
Discussion. Mr. Kayla?
Aye.
Ms. Kowski?
Aye.
Mr. Williams?
Aye.
Thank you, Linda. You're welcome.
Did we do public
Oh,
comment?
No public comments now.
Okay. You got a question, Commissioner?
we didn't have to have
Oh,
a
you-
public comment for the
You
CHIP program? Oh,
Yeah.
well, we'll take
Anyone
public
wishing-
for both, right?
Anybody wishing to address the board this morning? I'll make a motion to go into executive session as outlined by the county administrator.
Second?
Mr. Kayla?
Aye.
Ms. Kowski?
Aye.
Mr. Williams?
Aye.
This has been a broadcast of the recent Lorraine County Commissioners' General Meeting. Unless otherwise announced, meetings are held Wednesday morning at 9:30 at the Administration Building, 226 Middle Avenue, 4th floor, downtown Elyria. These are public meetings, and you are invited to attend. Agendas are posted prior to the meeting at www.loraincounty.us. Click on Departments to see the Commissioners page, then click on View Agenda for a printable copy of the agenda.